Hi everyone, how are you today? My name is Esther Ikewere, and this is another edition of Get Talking with Esther Media Mastery Show. I am excited to be here today. You know why? Because this is an unusual topic. I always, talk about media, but then politics is also important because we need people who look like us in politics, because we need more women, to be at the table when these policies are discussed. And that's why my guest is here today. She is an amazing person. You're going to be meeting her in a bit. I remember when we spotlighted her on Women of Rubies in October 2024, and then someone reached out to me and said, "Oh my God, Lady Haba, my God, she's an inspiration." And that is the beauty of, not just building momentum, but touching lives, which is one thing that she has done consistently in Canada and across the world. But you're going to get to know her in a bit. But before then, if you're joining on YouTube, kindly share this link. Let all the people join in. They're going to be learning today because she's not just a woman running for office. She is a trained banker. She is a public speaker, and she is a community builder. So you're having today a guest who is not just into policy making, a person who is not just good at debits and credits and knowing about asset and liabilities, but somebody who is also very, very grounded when it comes to community building. I'm going to be adding to the stage, just so that you get to know her before I read about you. Lady Abba, how are you today, ma'am?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you?
That's a powerful one. I am blessed and highly favored. And I like that. Last year, my friend who is a filmmaker, when I asked him how are you, he said, Esther, I am blessed and I am at peace. And that has always been, what I also say to people when they say, how are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm blessed and I'm at peace. So thank you for coming up with that powerful affirmation at the start of the conversation. How has the week been? I know the week has just started. It's just Tuesday, but I mean, it's still safe to ask. How has it been so far between Monday and Tuesday? How has it been?
My week has always been busy. A lot of people know I'm retired, but
Mhm.
I I didn't even miss a beat. I'm canvassing, so every day I go out, knock on doors, meet new neighbors, have
Mhm.
conversations. So
Mhm.
it's been very busy. I remember I'm also a wife. I
Yeah.
need to take care of my house. I need to take care of my children. I always tell people that it's never a dull moment in my space.
Yeah.
But please, can I just step back a little bit and really, really appreciate you for doing what you're doing? Um, you know, it's one thing for us to be doing the little things we do on our sites, but it's another thing for media to actually recognize and bring us to the table. So thank you, Esther Ijiwere, for
My
what you're doing. Truly appreciate you.
my pleasure, ma'am. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. When people say work-life balance, I always hear people say there's really no balance. We just swing it and then we keep going. And I love the way you just tabled it. I want to ask about, just before I introduce you, when you go out, to knock on doors. Now, I remember when we had a conversation and you mentioned that. And I said to myself, oh my God, I don't know they do that abroad. Because, I mean, coming from Africa, we do that, you know. So I want to know how that works. Like when you go to knock on doors, I mean, this is something we experience at a grassroots level. And I tell people, if you want to know a person who is ready to serve, that is one quality, to go out there and let people see your face and say, this is where I am. So please, can you tell me that about that experience?
Thank you so very much. And I'll give you an experience I had yesterday. I
Mm-hmm.
was knocking on doors, so they call it canvassing here, right? I was knocking on doors and I got to this man's door and I pressed this bell, waited. He came out. It was apparently finishing his dinner. He came out and he said, and I said, are you aware of the by election? And he said, seriously, I don't even know what you guys are doing. And he sat down and I said, good, let me educate you. And he said, what exactly am I running for? This is the second time I've been to that house. And he's now asking me, a week to the early election, what am I running for? So I told him, it is a counselor. position. He said, "What do you guys do?"
Mm.
Right? So that's the thing. A lot of people don't know what counselors do. So I told him, I said, you pay your property tax. He said, yes. I said, we are the ones that will help with the roads. We are the ones that will help with anything that has to do with, buildings, builders, developers coming to town, negotiating with them what they're supposed to do, what they can do, making sure that, your kids have a place to go, maybe for activities and things like that. Your water, your eat. He said, wow. I said, yeah. He said, so if there's any problem and we can't resolve it ourselves, we can talk to you. I said, yes, you can. I said, now let me tell you why there's a by-election. The person that was there before ran in the last federal election and became a member of parliament. And so there's an opening. I said, this is not the general election. General election happens every 4 years. But to fill this spot, that is why we call it a by-election.
Yep.
He said, thank you so much. I am going to vote for you. And I asked him, can I put my lawn sign in front of your house? And he said, please go ahead. And I said, please give me your email so I can follow up with you. Because another one thing is, I'll vote for you. Another thing is, maybe they forget. I don't want them to forget. Once they commit, I get their email, I get their phone number. So in the municipal election, actually, it is the most difficult election in Canada.
Wow.
The reason is because it is not party-based. Right? The parties start from the provincial level and the federal level. At the municipal level, it's a party of one. And so if people don't know you, they cannot vote for you. And I spoke with existing regional councillors, existing politicians, because I have relationship with them. And they said, nothing trumps you putting your face in front of everybody, which means knock on their door, talk to them, let them know who you are, what you stand for. And so I've knocked on doors of the area that I'm, a candidate for. Once, I'm doing the second time now.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm going to come back to that. But because of people who are going to watch this, I want to introduce you properly so they know more about you and the work that you've done over time. Our Royal Highness Adejisola Atiba embodies leadership, purpose, and resilience. Recently crowned Oban Tapanana. Ma'am, please, can you help me call that title out?
Oban Tapa Nana
Akosue
Nkpotwema 1.
Okay, it is, and that means Queen Mother of Gomoa Ojobi in Ghana. I'm also going to ask you about that in a bit. She is a trailblazer in both corporate and community spaces with over 30 years in financial services, including 17 years at RBC, where she now serves. Now, this is an old bio. She's retired, like she said. As community manager, Adejisola has led teams, shaped national onboarding programs, and mentored future leaders. Beyond that corporate role, she champions diversity and inclusion as the founder of the Council of Nigerian Professionals and the African Caribbean Council of Housing, while serving on boards such as Rotary Club of Milton and United Way Housing and Hamilton, a TEDx speaker, lifestyle coach, and author of Authenticity, How My Why Me Movement Shaped My Life. She continues to inspire through storytelling and advocacy. And of course, she's here with us today, live and direct. And a part of that bio that we need to now upgrade now is to say she's running for office. She's running for office and she's going to be in our faces, for a very long time. Before I dive in, into the question, I want to just touch on the Queen Mother part, the Ghanaian title. You want to tell us more about that?
Thank you so much. So I was in the bank one day. I was a branch manager in a branch in Brampton, and one of my team members came to me and said, "There's a gentleman you need to meet." And she also told the man that you need to meet my manager. And so the man came into my office, we spoke, and we realized that we're in the same space. He's a Ghanaian, I'm a Nigerian.
Mhm.
Now, one thing I want everybody to know is that, back home in Nigeria, we see ourselves as Nigerians, right?
Yeah,
But when we come to a space like this, Canada,
yeah,
everything blends in
yeah,
because a Nigerian, Ghanaian, we're the same.
yeah.
Every oh, when we're walking on the streets and people say, "Oh, African people," we're the ones now that will now start dividing ourselves.
Yeah.
So that concept kind of stood with me. And so when I really introduce myself now, I say I am an African born in Nigeria
Amazing.
because I feel it's so important for us to come together, talk
Mhm.
together,
Mhm.
help each other. Because what a Nigerian needs really is what an African needs in Canada or
Mhm.
in all these diaspora that we find ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so I met this young man, he's a pastor. And so that was how we actually started working together.
Mhm.
And he is from the royal family back home. Eventually, he became a king. So
Oh.
when he became a king, the relationship continued. And then one day, I was coming from the clinic with my husband, and he said, he called me and he said, "I need to talk to you. I have something really important to tell you." And I put it on the speaker. My husband was there, and he said, "I want my people to honor you for all the things that you've been doing. I feel it is important. We don't need to stay within our boundaries and say, oh, because she's Nigerian, I can't do it."
Mhm.
And I said, what does that even mean? She said, I want to give you a title. You're already doing the work. You're into development, you're into culture. I
Mhm.
want us to give you a formal title that will, you know, give you more inclusion, sort of, based on what you've been doing.
Yeah.
That was how it started. And so he introduced me to his brother, another king in Ghana,
Mhm.
and we had a conversation, and that is how that came to bear. So I was nominated by a Ghanaian, and people always think that maybe my husband is Ghanaian.
Yeah, I mean, I read the name and I'm like, okay, I gotta let you handle this because I don't, I don't. But I mean, it's beautiful when you're not just recognized by the motherland board, but just people who are our neighbors in Nigeria. And I feel like, it's the fact that there was some sort of impact you had, on that person. And we want to say thank you to the king for recognizing you. 17 years in banking and now you're evolving into politics. I know the last time, like, no, Paul, I said you're a politician. You're a politician. Yes, that is a new. It's inevitable. That is the new keyword that will be added to your name. And because we know the work you've done at the community level, we love to see it. How did you make this decision to say, listen, I have given 17 years of myself to banking, to helping customers, to helping clients. Now I want to serve at the grassroots level. I want to help build the community. Was it a hard decision for you to evolve and pivot, like they say, from that sector now to a sector that really, really means you got to engage with people from the grassroots level?
It was a very difficult decision. And I just want to quickly correct something. I actually spent 19 years with RBC before
Okay,
retiring.
okay.
So that my resume is 2 years behind.
You need to upgrade it.
Yes, it was a very difficult decision. I always call myself a kingmaker. So my background in Nigeria, I'm from Oyo State, born in Ibadan, but I'm from the royal family in Oyo, which is why my name is Atiba. Atiba is actually my maiden name.
Oh,
And I just want to step back a little again. So before the advent of Christianity and Islam, uh,
mhm.
our culture allows women to maintain their names.
Yeah.
That was our culture. And so it was when Christianity and Islam came, that's when we start bearing our husband's name. So I did not change my name. Atiba is my maiden name. So I'm from Oyo. I'm a princess of Oyo.
Nice.
So I call myself a king maker. I was looking for people because I realized that there's so many things that is happening, affecting us, that we don't have a say about.
Mm,
So I was talking to people in my community to say, we need to rise. We need to do something about it. It's not enough to just call all these people to come and take pictures with us when we have events. It's
mm,
not enough for them to invite us
mhm,
when they have events. What about the policies that they're making? Our children, a lot of us come here and say, oh, we're going to go back to Nigeria. And then 40 years later, we're still here. So
mhm.
while we're here, why are we not doing something about it? And every time I speak to people in the community, the first thing they say is, when are you going to run? That's what everybody was telling me. I'm like, why do you say me? I'm looking for people. I want people to run because I know I can run a good campaign for anybody, right? But I realized that people were not ready. They said, but you are already well known in the community. If you are not doing it, why would anybody want to do it? And you know, I've realized that in this country, I'm sort of a pace setter when it comes to grassroots community. I decided, you know what, maybe I should consider it. So I spoke with my pastor, and my pastor said, "Hey, if you carry the ballot, me, I'm going to vote for you." I'm like, really? I called my husband. I said, "What do you think?" He said, "Whatever you do, I'm going to support you." So I think it's a good thing. So I was planning on running next year for the general election. I didn't know there was going to be a by-election. And so since my husband gave his go ahead and my
Go
pastor
ahead.
gave his go ahead,
Mhm.
I told my children, funny enough, my son said, I kind of saw you in that kind of space. A
Mm.
few of my friends that I've known since like forever, and they're like, seriously, did you not know that's? I mean, we kind of thought that's your thinking all along. I'm like, it was never my thinking. My thinking is, help the community and all that. But now, here we go. So we actually had a candidates meeting
Mhm.
last Friday, and when
Yep.
they asked me this question, I said, politics found me through community service.
Politics found me through community service. Now we need to put that on a flyer for you. Yeah. Politics found me through community service. Please go on, ma'am.
So that is how I'm, decided to run. I retired June 30th,
Mhm.
thinking, okay, I'm going to focus on my business because I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur. I never stop,
Yeah.
right? And when this happened, people are like, "Oh, this is a good time. This is a good test of your time, yeah, of your candidacy. If you're going to run in the general election, let's do it now."
Mhm.
And so I put in my name, and then the rest is history. So, yeah,
There you are.
here we are.
You are a politician.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's going to be my title because I don't know how to, I don't know. I don't know.
Well. I mentioned to you that day on the phone. I said it's like a ladder. You're starting from this level, which honestly, you're going to look back now, years from now, and this is going to be the beauty mark of this journey to say, listen, I started from the level where I got to know the community, and then I am here now to this level. So, in our minds, for those of us who are young and looking up to you, I would say you're still a politician because that way we keep letting younger ones know you can also go into politics.
Absolutely.
Already there is this tag line when people hear politics, they want to pull back and say, oh, no, 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 I don't want to get involved. Yet we live in a country where policies are made
Yes.
and you don't want to get involved. So people need to get involved and
Yeah.
we need to encourage them to get involved. And it is people like you who would encourage, folks to get involved. Now, I want to ask you, as a woman, I'm of course running for office, what are some challenges that you've encountered? This is new for you, I understand, but there is no journey without its challenges. What are some that you've encountered so far as a woman now?
Thank you so much. The woman aspect, at times when I need to say something heavy, I kind of pause.
Yeah.
The woman aspect, believe you me, I mean, I don't know how people are going to take this, but
Mhm.
I, yes, I'm a woman, but I don't technically behave like one.
Okay.
I take charge. I'm not, I'm not easily daunted with anything. When I make my mind up to do something, I just go for it. You won't see me. I don't form groups where I'm not that gossip kind of person. I don't behave in the normal woman way. It's always been like that for me because of how my father raised me. He really imbibed a lot of values in me that because he told me that what a man can do, you can do it better. Um, there's nothing you cannot do if you put your
Mhm.
mind to it. You're the best thing that could ever happen to anybody. And so, when it comes to that woman thing, I don't even play it. Another thing I don't play is the color game. I don't play it. I
Yeah.
just present myself the way I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's because it happens. I know because there's soft. We have different types of women. There's women that are very soft. There are women
Mhm.
that like, kind of behave or
Mhm.
act like men. So,
Mhm.
but knocking on doors, I will say one thing. It has really made me understand a lot about the community.
Mhm.
Um, Going in, I feel what they're gonna say to a man is what they're saying to me, because a lot of people will open their door with so much happiness, wanting to learn. A
Mhm.
lot of people will close their door. A lot
Mhm.
of people will peep through the door and say, I'm not interested. And believe you me, all those things could get to you as a person. But because I've had conversations with a lot of people in
Yeah.
politics who said, don't take it personal. Even in the corporate world, we don't take things personal. I may
Mhm.
have to do certain things to a team member or for a team member, and it cannot be emotionally motivated.
Yes.
Has to be so 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 maybe, like I said, the way I was raised, maybe my experiences in organizations as a senior leader,
Mhm.
just makes me who I am. So I don't get frazzled easily.
That's good.
I actually don't get frazzled at all. So I just move on.
Okay, and now that's it. You're ready for the office. That's it right there. Exactly. Because that is one value and one quality that I have seen, in women in politics. If I may say that, the ones who stand their ground, who are not faced by anything, who stand by their policies and they stand by their opinion and they're not easily swayed. And anyone who is watching right now, who is going to watch this, can see those qualities in you. So thank you so much for sharing. And I understand your point about, you being yourself and be multidimensional. However, for those who want to aspire to go into politics, a lot of people, there are conversations centered around that. Why is it important for us to have more women in politics?
So I will go back, step back again.
Mm-hmm.
It is important for us to have more African Caribbean people in politics. Period. It's not even about women now. We're
Mm-hmm.
not even there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was looking at the numbers, some numbers for you. At the federal level, um, our representation is just about 2.6%. So whether woman or man, we're not even there, right? And the thing is, if we don't go out, if we don't step out, and I
Mm-hmm.
know it's not easy, like I wasn't thinking of stepping out, right? But then you have me to talk to. You
Yeah.
have people that already, I mean, Ayowoduni, you have him to talk to.
Yeah.
Khadija Haliru, you
Mm-hmm.
have her to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
right? We are not there. We need to be there.
Yeah.
At the municipal level, I mean, at the provincial level, in Ontario, we're about 5.6. So a little better, but we're still 5.6. At the municipal level, there is no mayor that looks like us, right? And then even when you're talking about councillors that look like us, maybe a little bit more in the Toronto area,
Yeah.
and that's it. So we're not even represented at all. Now, why do we need to be represented? Policies are made at the municipal level. Policies are made at the provincial level. Policies are made at the federal level that affects every one of us. We have called Canada home. Why are we not engaged in putting these policies together?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing. I know a lot of people talk about EDI. I call it EDI, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. A lot of people talk about it. And they say, at times, they'll say representation is representation. I beg to differ.
Mm.
Because if let's say an Asian person is elected and you give a cutlass or a hoe to them, when they're going to face it to themselves first before they even think of anybody else. And I don't blame anybody. Where are we? Why are we not there to hold the hoe too and help our own people?
People.
I'll tell you something. There's some policies that are made that we are not even aware of. But when we need that service, we realize that we can't even get those services anymore. Just
Mhm.
because some people have made a decision that affected us and we didn't know about it. We keep talking about sit at the table, sit at the table. It's important for us to have a seat at the table.
At the table.
Doing it, they're not better than us. In actual fact, we always, even maybe I guess it's the system back home that we brought here, where the airlines don't tend to go into politics, right? And they just, oh no, I don't want to be stressed. But here, nobody is gonna harass you. No thug is gonna come to your house. So go for it anyway because you never know.
You never know.
Be part of making the policy that will affect you,
Mhm.
affect your children,
Mhm.
affect generations unborn.
Mhm.
So we're leaving all that to other people to do for us.
Mhm.
Let's sprinkle it all around. My goal now, seriously, in this election, win or win, it's a win for me, Adejisola, because I have met so many people.
Good.
And I've told people, this is not a sprint for me anymore. I'm in it to win it.
Good.
Yes. So I am, it is a journey. I will continue until I get there. And while I'm doing that, I will go to each towns and cities and make sure we have representation. Somebody must come out. Let us put our face there. Because when we do, when we're thinking of when all these people are thinking of, oh, what do we need to do, they will remember you and they will bring you to the table. So, okay, she came out. He came out. Let's hear what they have to say. Today we have a candidates meeting tonight. And those are ways that people get to know you more. Our downtown Milton Business Improvement area, they're doing a candidate meet. There are 9 of us, right? Uh, on Thursday, we have another one. The rural part of the town, they're having a meet and greet. I mean, if you can, join. Milton is, GTR is not too far from each other. So I'm talking to everybody listening right now. If you're a Miltonian,
Mhm.
show up, especially if you're an African Caribbean, show up. Let them know that this is important to you.
Mhm.
But we need to run, young or old. All the people doing it, they're not better than
Mhm.
us. I don't know if you remember, Obama said something. He said, when you get to that so called top 0.00001%, or whatever they call it,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
realize that there's really nothing there. It's just human beings that, have been supported, mentored, sponsored, that got there. It's not as if they're any better
yeah, yeah,
than any one of us. So
yeah,
please go for it. You already have mentors,
yeah.
go for it.
And I totally agree. And what you just said reminds me of what Ayo Oduni said. One time, I believe, when he was speaking at an event, and he said we need to sponsor more. There are people who are more mentored than being sponsored. That we need to now change the narrative to sponsor people after being mentored so that they can actually accomplish their goal. And just hearing you talk about, mentorship, you just brought that back. And of course, I want to ask, because yes, you've touched on quite a number of things. What are some of the barriers that you feel, it's probably holding folks back from running for office? Because it's one thing for a person to aspire, it's another thing for us to have visible barriers that are stopping these people from saying, yes, I want to run for office like Lady Abba.
So I'm gonna actually kind of lump every one of us into one thing. I think it's the stage of life that we're in,
Mhm.
right? So we come into the country, we realize that, oh my God, the bills keep piling up. I gotta work, work, work,
Mhm.
right? So 9 to 5.
Yeah.
The children that we're raising,
Mhm.
um, you know, I feel that's really the big part of it. But
Mhm.
what I want to say is that we're living so many things. There's certain things I won't be able to say
Yeah.
in this space, but we're living so many things. There's so many benefits
Mhm.
in running. I met so many people that actually have young children
Mhm.
that they're running. If you know that this is something you would like to do,
Mhm.
in spite of the stage of life you're in spite of your circumstances,
Mhm.
talk to people that are already doing it,
Mhm.
and they will be able to guide you on how to do it. Now, entering the municipal race is the bar is very, very low. You got to be a Canadian citizen. You can't have bankruptcy or something, and
Mhm.
then you need to reside in that municipality. That's what it is. And I feel a lot more can actually start from there, and it's part time.
Mhm.
It's a part time job. So you can still have your business on the side or still have a part time job on the side. But not trying is really setting us back. I am telling you for sure. There's certain things I heard, just during this election that I realized that, oh my God, we are just focused on the McDonald's of this world when we're living gold. We're living gold
On the
on the
table.
table, on the table.
On the table.
Yeah, on the table. We're leaving it on the table. Being a politician or being in council or wherever you find yourself, it comes with a different level of leadership skills. It comes with a different level of exposure, and it comes with a different level of responsibility that we've turned our back on. Again, I'm going to say this again. Everybody in council right now, everybody in provincial politics or federal politics, they're not better than us. You know, let me focus on Nigerians. We always say that Nigeria know they carry last. Yes, we do not carry last. We don't. We're highly educated, we're highly skilled, we're highly experienced, and then
Mhm.
we come here, we allow Canada to Canada us. We forget who we are,
Yeah.
right? So get somebody to talk to. If you know this is something you're thinking about, get somebody. Maybe you can even do it now. The
Mhm.
general election, just so you know, is happening next year,
Mhm.
right? October next year is when the general election will happen all over. Seriously, we should have more people coming out.
Should
We
have.
can do it.
Yeah.
If you need to talk about it, I already mentioned three names in GTA.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that one. And for young women who want to go into politics, now we're not talking about every woman out there. The young ones who want to sit at a table. If you could talk to a young woman right now about running for office, what would you say to this young person?
I, you know, I know I'm stealing Nike's slogan, just do it. I'm not kidding, just do it. I'll tell you, one of the people running in this candidacy with me is
Mhm.
actually a young girl. The dad is the one pushing her forward. The thing is, you can start now and gain that name recognition. Yes, gain that, especially if you don't, I don't know, if you're not married or you don't have any children, why not? Go for
Mhm.
it, man. Go for it. And you'll grow into it. And like I said, you have people you can talk to.
Yeah.
We have lived our lives well as leaders, as mentors, if we're able to bring young women to
Mhm.
the table.
Yeah.
I'm always open. If you call me and I don't pick up, believe you me, I will return your call.
Yeah.
If you message me and I don't answer immediately, believe you me, I will answer your mess. I will respond to you. You have people that are willing to mentor you because there's an adage in Yoruba that says, no one tree can say I'm a forest.
Mhm.
We need every one of us.
Mhm.
To every young woman,
Mhm.
young lady out there that is interested in politics, reach out to me. Reach out to Councillor Khadija Aliru.
Yeah.
Reach out to Ayodunu. They will be happy
Yeah.
to advise you on what to do.
Mhm.
Again, entering at the municipal level is pretty easy,
Mhm.
and it's part time.
And it's part time.
So you can do it. Believe you me, you can do it.
Absolutely. And just before I ask you, the last question that I have for you, for those who want to follow you, for those who want to know more about the work you do, where can they engage you? How can they follow you? Facebook, Instagram. I know you have those accounts. Just let them know how they can follow you and engage. We'll take this conversation further with you. Yep.
Thank you so very much. So for the politics platform, I go by Vote Adejisola. vote Adejisola. So whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, X, and Esther Ijure told me, make sure you have TikTok. I've opened TikTok.
I saw it, I
So
saw it and I'm like, yeah.
So, what Adejisola is the political platform. For my personal, it depends on which side of the bed I wake up from. It could be my business or my name. So, mostly, if you search Adejisola Atiba, you definitely will find me.
Amazing. Amazing. So for those who are going to be watching this, she said, and I got to say, one thing about Canadian politics is the accessibility of public office holders. They are accessible. So if she says, if you call me, I'm going to call you back, she's not lying. Politics here is like everybody's accessible, not like accessible where you abuse people's spaces, but accessible in knowing the responsibility they have towards the people in their constituency, towards people want to know more about them. So yes, reach out to HRH and learn more about the work that she's doing. You want to engage her, you want to ask her questions, you want to spotlight her. And I got to ask you, ma'am, how do you think the media can help African Caribbean politicians in Canada? Because one thing I know about Canada as a media strategist is that media is quite monopolized. And sometimes we need ourselves, we need community. So, how do you think those of us who have media platforms can better support the vision of women like you and men like Hayo who are running for office or already in office?
Thank you so much. And one of the things you can do is what you're doing right now, right? Uh, you know, um, you heard I was running, and you're like, oh, I gotta bring you to the platform. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you can do. Another thing you can do, because people know people, right?
Yeah.
Is follow all those social medias and share it on your platform. Let everybody know about it. Our people is running. Let us support. When you project it out there, people will see it.
Yeah.
And the more you project it, the more other people will see it. Let me give you an example. I was at an event some few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and during that event, I met someone for the very first time. Mr. Taiwo Aziz is his name. I believe he's the president of Egbe Omo Ibadan or something. Boy Ibadan. I don't know whether they call it Egbe Omo Ibadan. Meaning Ibadan people, something like that. And when he heard I was running, this is somebody that has never met me before. He came to me and said, "Can I have your flyer? This, that." And he posted it on their platform. They had an event. I went, and people were showing me on their status my flyer. These are people I don't even know. So that one person said, "Okay, this is us. We gotta do this," and everybody just jumped on it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When people, I've had people call me from US.
Yeah.
I have friends in Milton. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
People know people. So as the media, because you have a lot more, showcasing it will show it to other people. And when you see it, my dear brothers and sisters, share it.
Yep.
So that everyone will know it is happening. Right? And we can support as many in many ways. So media, that's the way you can support. Like I'm going to the event this evening. There's a way that they see me, because when I'm taking my picture for my flyers, I'm not just gonna look, I have to touch it up a little bit.
Yes.
How can you, because if I need to touch up, I have to pay like $150 to do that. If that is your talent, you can say, "Yaba, I can touch you up today."
Yeah.
Do you understand? So skills, you can use your skills to support. You can use, words of mouth to support. I have somebody that is helping with SEO search. We just take it on. We want you to be out there. And that's because they know that our success is everybody's success.
Yeah. And that's a powerful one. Yeah. And that brings me to volunteering as well. So, like Lady Abba said, if you have any skills and you can use that skill to support anyone running for office, honestly, you're helping the community. So you don't consider that as, oh, I'm helping Lady Harbour. You're actually helping the community, because when one of us is there, a lot of us we would be encouraged to also aspire, to go there. So whatever skills you have, I encourage you to reach out to her. On our website, I'm going to be sharing it on this YouTube description. You can go. There is a volunteer portal there. If you want to volunteer for her, drop your number, drop your details, and somebody would call you and engage you. And as for media, I also want to encourage those in the media, please let us use our pen to lift. Let us use our pen to encourage. Let us use our pens to celebrate. Because when we tear people down when they want to do something great, we discourage other people from tolling that path. And that brings me to the very last question, which is, of course, one of the most important questions for this session today. And it's, if you are elected, what key issues will you prioritize?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I answer that question, I just want to add one more thing. Every day we knock on doors.
Mm-hmm.
Every day we canvass.
Yeah.
That is a space where a lot of hands are needed. This is like the last stretch. So if you know you can be in Milton or you're a Miltonian, please show up. Please show up. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, which is where we share a lot of information, I'll share with Esther Ichiwere. Please reach out to her and join, and you can post it on anywhere. Feel free to join. And you can also donate. Meaning money, drives everything good.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how little, $20, $10, it does not matter. Drops of water, they say, makes an ocean. And just so you know, at the municipal level, you don't get tax credit for your donation. So it is a donation of love. You get a receipt, but you can't claim it in your taxes. So now to the question you asked, what am I going to do when I get into office? Thank you so much. It was one of the questions that was asked in the last candidate meeting that we had. I will tell you one thing. What I've realized is politics and policies and decisions actually take time. So, and that's why I said I don't know whether I'll be able to be a politician, because I'll tell you exactly the way it is. So there are 9 members in the Milton municipality. The mayor is one, then 4 regional councillors and 4 town councillors. We can peel that back later. So 9 people. I, as a councillor, will have 1 vote. Right? So it means that all the other councillors need to believe in what I'm cooking or selling for them to agree to make things happen. I said that so that I'll put some clarity to it. But with me knocking on doors since July 1st, in the first, in this first year, I really feel listening, engaging, communication is really the way to go. And I'll tell you why. I've been knocking on doors in many areas. What one is quite unique. There was a place where I went, and the gentleman of the house told me, I'm not happy because somebody put a green bin in front of my house, and every dog owner passing by dropped their dog poo inside that green bin. And I've been telling them that is not where they should be dropping it. And they'll be looking at me and they'll be dropping it in the green bin. And the green bin was overflowing. And it is summer. He said, can I do anything about it? And I did. I sent an email to the regional council because I didn't know who to reach out to. I said, this needs to be done. And he connected me with who should do it. And that bin was removed.
Amazing.
So listen and engage. Listen and engage. Very, very key. There was another place where I went in the rural Milton Ward 1. They call it Nasagaweya. On the road, when I was speaking to at least 2 residents I spoke to that came out to speak to me, said, a lot of motorists have turned this place into a racing space. And then there's so much potholes. They used to do these potholes before COVID-19, but they stopped. Again, I reached out and they responded. And these residents were like, thank you so much for looking into it. So I will listen. I will engage. I will resolve their problems. And communication. I realized that it's not everywhere, actually, in Milton that has access to Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi. Can you believe that?
2025.
Yeah. So and all the information usually is put on internet. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, how can you access the internet?
Internet.
So communication for me is going to be a priority. Whatever is happening, whatever we're talking about in council, I will make sure there's a newsletter. Actually, in my campaign, I did newsletter specifically for the people in the areas that lack Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
One thing I learned is Milton actually has a plan. There's a town plan. I will tell you the truth. Until I heard somebody ask the question, I did not know. Adejisola, did not know. So imagine how many people did not know. So how can you have a plan for a resident of a place and they don't know about it? So even if it's a beautiful plan, even if it's the best plan under the sun, if they don't know about it, that means you did not co-create with them. You did not involve them with it. You did not even tell them about it. Communication is going to be key for me. And the final thing I'm going to say is, and all this came about through knocking on doors, getting to know the residents.
Mm-hmm.
The final thing I'm going to say is, the focus on family. I am really going to advocate for families. And I'll tell you why. I've spoken to seniors. Most of them are like, we lived all our life in Milton. Now we're being priced out of our homes. What can we do for them? It's so, so important. That's number one. Our youths. I see a lot of youths riding scooters without the helmet. Every time I see them, oh my God, my heart just jumps to my mouth. But there's not much activities for them. I went to a place where they call the youth center. The youth center is not even as big as my living room. And there was only, I think, one ping pong table there.
Mm-hmm.
If you want youths to come to a youth center, you better equip it and it's got to be bigger.
Yep.
I've spoken to parents that said they can't even sign up their children for activities because the space is limited. Daycare is limited. And yet we want, white collar people to live in Milton or whatever, high income people want them to live in Milton. Of course, they're going to have families. It's just like the organizations that I run, Council of Nigerian Professional, Council of African Professionals. If we focus only on professionals don't live in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Professionals have families.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take care of the holistic family for them to be at peace.
Yeah.
And family is going to be really, really critical for me.
Yep.
Because if we're bringing more families in, homes are being built every day.
Yep. And
everybody coming in will have one, maybe husband, wife with children or, or partners or whatever. And we're not taking care of them. I want to make sure that the infrastructures to support the families are there. The amenities to support the families are there. I will advocate for all these things. I'll listen, I'll engage, I'll make sure communication is not just for people that can go on the internet. And make sure that the family is taken care of. So those are things. And another thing I mentioned is that because I know I have only one vote, I will do meeting behind the meeting. I will collaborate with others. I realize that you have to do meeting behind the meeting, because if it's time to vote and you've not done your own work, sorry, it's not going to fly. But I will do that for them. I will be their voice and I will advocate for what's important to them. Thank you.
And that's a powerful one. And just before we wrap up, there's something I always do with my guests. I'll put you on the spot. You're just going to be on the spot. And you introduce yourself once again, as though you're just talking to a new person who doesn't know you. And, we just want you to say, okay, my name is this, and this is what you're going to be doing in the office. Please go on, ma'am.
So my name is Adejisola Atiba. Everybody calls me Lady ABHA. I wear many hats. I tell people that I'm a woman of many colors. I've had my stint in the banking world, and I don't think it's behind me yet, though. I've had 32 years banking experience. I'm a TEDx speaker. I'm a writer. I'm an advocate. I've supported a lot of people, whether women, new immigrants, youths. I am running for this office because I believe that we can do much more, and we need representation. We need to be at the table to make decisions that will impact our lives, our children, and generations to come. And so that is why I'm running. And election is, on October 6th. I encourage everybody in that ward to go out and vote. Early election is actually a few days, September 19th and September 20th. So if you want change, if you want authenticity, I'm your girl.
And that's on period. Did you hear her? If you want change, if you want authenticity, she is your girl. I want to say a huge thank you to you today. I've learned so much myself, and this is why we need to engage, because what you don't know, you don't know. Now I know stuff about the municipal level of election. I know the main one is next year, which means I have a responsibility as well to advocate for those who want to go, not discourage people. You want to go into politics? Okay, I'm going to support you with whatever I have. So thank you for sharing, so much. This is like a masterclass on politics 101. And I know that we're going to look back at this video when you are there. And, we'll be very, very proud of the work that you're doing at the community. And if there's anything I'm taking out of this conversation today, you talked about listening. Active listening is a skill. You talked about communication and ultimately family. Family is important. Thank you, ma'am, for taking out time from your busy schedule today to join me. I cannot wait to see you out there being called into office. We are rooting for you because we got to root for our people. We are rooting for you. We want to see you out there. We want to see your name on CNN. We want to see you on major media platforms talking about policies and encouraging other people to come, because there is a seat at the table for anyone who is ready for change. And that's it for me, everyone, today. Thank you so much for sharing. Please, if you come across this video, one thing you can do to support is to share. Share within your network, share with people. If someone is asking you, I want to know more about Lady ABHA, okay, she just had a session. All right, hear her talk, right? So please share. I'm also going to be sharing this on my Instagram page, on my Facebook page. But beyond that, our responsibility is to collectively come together and support her. And anyone, she mentioned some other names, there's Ayo Woduni, there's Lady Khadija as well, and there are other people in the community. Please, we need to support our own. We need to support anyone who is aspiring for change. Lady Haba, I wish you a beautiful week and have a good one at your meeting tonight. But beyond that, I'm just sending you lights ahead of the elections on October. And please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, ma'am. Have a good one. Hi, everyone. So that's it for me today. I'm excited. I'm happy. You heard that conversation, right? Please support Lady Haba. Go ahead and support our vision. Go ahead and follow her on Facebook. I'm going to be adding all the links to this YouTube channel. Support her, support our vision. We need people who look like us to be in the office. But remember what she said, right? Supporting is very, very important. Have a beautiful day. And that's it for me. Bye for now.